everyone have more questions.
Yeah,
If
and
not,
I will check the Facebook account as well, right? So people can post questions there, and I will answer them. So you showed me about the Facebook account last time, and I checked. I try to respond to everyone's comments. So
yes.
I think it's fine that people haven't got questions. They can send questions in later. Thank you for the incredible interpreters. They can interpret them for me, and I can answer them later, right? We can even have an extended question and answer session for next time, because the laboratory experiments and the natural experiments are a little bit related, aren't they? There's two different ways to do the same thing. So we could have, once we finish doing the natural experiments next time, we can have a lot of questions that people might have about the experimental questions.
Yeah.
So I might sign off here, Doug, rather than put pressure on people to ask questions, because they can always think about them, post them in Facebook, send them through our wonderful interpreters, and we can talk about them next time.
Tom, there is one question for you now.
Yeah.
Could you please provide another section on case study method? And could you make a brief comparison between case study method and experimental method?
So the case study is where you typically go into an organization, and you study what's going on there. However, you don't have as much control of extraneous events, and what you see might be particular to that particular organization, and you don't have control of the exogenous events. You're changing this to see what happens. So there are different sort of research. There's a place for case study research. You can go to lots of different situations of different companies and come up with a lot of observations of what you've seen, and then you can try to generalize, right? So the way you would attempt to get around extraneous events there would go to a lot of different, say, companies. And if you go to a lot of different companies, that might help to account for extraneous events. But you still have an endogeneity problem, right? So what you think you see outcomes and you think you see causes, but it's going to be difficult to disentangle them, right? So that's why, when they do health studies, right, they don't just look at the population and see what happens to people over time, right? Because they don't have strict control over treatment and control. So, there's a place for case studies. Sometimes that's the only way you can do the research, but there's also a place for experiments. They're different things, right? The experiments give you very tight control of the treatment effect and the control group and what effect they have on outcomes. A case study is a form of qualitative research, right? That's part of the national. That's part of the qualitative research national PhD course. That now I believe there's a prize, right, for anyone that attends all three of these workshops that I'm giving, that they get access to that full course, including the videos and everything. Doc, is that right? That's got papers. It's got all sorts of videos. So that's quite a good prize. So there's a Dropbox with all of the material for qualitative surveys, systematic review, experiments, and econometrics, right? And Doc is offering a prize for people, anyone that does all three of these workshops that I'm giving, that they get access to the full material, the full course. Have I got that right?
Thank you, Professor. There's yet another question. It seems that it's harder to publish papers using experimental method compared to those using qualitative method.
No, because as we said, that since the Nobel Prize in 2002, which is 20 years ago, experimental methods have become completely mainstream, right? And so you're seeing those publications in those top journals: American Economic Review, Journal of Political Economy. So it's now become accepted research in the very top journals, right, across all the fields. Winning the Nobel Prize really does advance the field. So I might leave it there, leave the group now, Doug. I'm looking forward to the next workshop in 2 weeks' time on econometrics. In the meantime, though, I'll be monitoring the Facebook page and answering any questions there. Our wonderful interpreters, if they get more questions, can send them through to me, and I'll provide answers.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tom.
Pleasure. It's a pleasure. Okay,
yeah.
bye-bye.
All right.
Thank you.
So
Bye-bye.
we hope that you feel that this interpretation methodologies is working.
Yes, yeah, I think it was good.
Yes.
I think it was good. So it was probably a little smooth. The last time was very good too, right? I like the interaction with Jesse as the interpreter. That was very good. But this was very good too. I had two excellent. It's good to try different things.
Yeah. I think you are also on Telegram. Are you?
Yeah, I tried. Yeah, I'm on Telegram. I wasn't getting anything on Telegram, but I think I'm on it. The next time I'll get the proper site to go on. But I did install it.
Yeah.
So with our translators, we're doing experiment, right? So we had one way with the one interpreter with Jesse last time, doing it page by page. So that was asynchronous. At this time, we had the two interpreters and we're doing it simultaneously. So we've actually been conducting an experiment here, right, with the use of translators. So we might have to examine whether we had a really good experimental design or not. Yeah. Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much,
Professor.
Tom.
Pleasure.
Yeah. Have a good
Thank you so much,
evening.
Tom and